What is wrong with me? I must be broken. I'm weak. Gosh, if people even knew that I was so exhausted when I'm not even doing anything, if they could see the ways that I'm not showing up because I'm just so tired, what would they think of me? They'd think I was lazy. These are some of the thoughts that I had when I didn't give myself credit for all the work that I was doing, when I didn't think that my work counted. So if I wasn't working a traditional paid job more than 40 hours a week, that was really hard, then why did I get space to be tired? How could I let myself be so tired, and why couldn't I show up in every single other way possible? And the reality is that I was doing a lot of work. We're all doing a lot of work. It's just that it's not all seen and it's not all valued by our dominant culture. And so you have to give yourself credit for that. You have to let yourself be seen for all that you're doing. There's so many types of work that don't go accounted for. Invisible inner work, taking care of your health, taking care of your mental health, taking care of other people in your life, emotionally supporting others, grief, belonging to any marginalized group is work. Regularly practicing compassion and resilience and patience and grace, all of these things take work because they're all counter to the dominant culture. They're all counter to the messages that you've been receiving probably since day one. So you're wired in a certain way. You're trained to be a certain way and to only account for certain things that you do. But all of those little things that you're doing that take energy and they take time, those count as work too. Whether it's traditional or non-traditional, whether it's paid or unpaid, whether anybody else sees it or not, whether it's a necessity or a choice. Doesn't matter. It's all work. And when I finally saw the work that I was doing, then I was able to account for it. Because if you're not even seeing the work that you're doing and you're not acknowledging all that work, then how can you set up appropriate boundaries, and how can you give yourself the right amount of rest, and how can you have compassion for yourself when you don't even see it? The first step is to see that you are showing up. You are doing a lot of work. And that gets to take up space. So even if nobody else sees it and nobody else can acknowledge it, and the world doesn't value it in the same way as other work is valued, you can see it. You can value it, and you can give yourself that space to then fill your cup from that place, right? Recognizing that your cup is being drained in all these ways. So you need the space to breathe and to rest. So my challenge for you this week would be to finish these sentences, starting with, I acknowledge blank is real work. What is some type of real work that you do that is going unaccounted for? Second, what is the impact of discounting that work? So when you don't see it and you don't acknowledge it, then what happens, right? And then maybe what's the impact of that? What's the ripple effect that's happening in your life? And then third would be a commitment to yourself, that you're going to give yourself some compassion and some grace in the next week. Schedule it in or work it in. Take things off of your plate. Deliberately say no. Deliberately create space for you to rest or for things to go undone that just need to go undone so that you can recuperate, because you're exhausted and there is a reason why you're tired, and you're not broken. There's nothing wrong with you. You're not lazy. You're not alone. You're just doing a lot of work that may not be accounted for.